Can you think of some important things that you need in order to survive? There are 5 things that all living things need, and they include sunlight, water, air, food, and a habitat with the right temperature. Sorry, video games are not on the list. An ecosystem is a specific area that can be either in water, aquatic, or on land, terrestrial. Ecosystems can be small, like under a rock, or inside a tree trunk, medium, like a pond, lake, or forest, or large, like the ocean or our entire planet. The living organisms within an ecosystem, such as plants, animals, trees, and insects, interact with non-living things, such as weather, soil, sun, and climate, and depend on each other for survival. Before we move on, check out this image appearing on your screen. This shows a swamp ecosystem. Living organisms such as plants, insects, and trees are interacting with non-living things, such as water, sun, and soil. There are different levels of organization within an ecosystem. Individual refers to a single living organism, such as a plant or animal. Population refers to a group of individuals from the same species, living in the same area, interacting with each other. There's a fish population when many fish live in the same area. Community refers to many different populations of species living in the same area, interacting with each other. There is a community when populations of fish, eels, and sharks are all living in the same area and interacting. Ecosystem refers to communities that live and interact with each other, as well as with non-living things. It is here in the ecosystem that the communities depend on things like water, sun, and temperature. In an ecosystem, all living things need food in order to get energy. Green plants are called the producers in a food chain. With the help of the sun, they can produce their own food. They're the very first level of the food chain. Primary consumers, such as insects, caterpillars, cows, and sheep, eat the plants. The secondary consumers, such as lions, snakes, and cats, eat the primary consumers, and so on, with each higher level eating the animals below them on the food chain. Decomposers, such as bacteria and fungi, are nature's recyclers. They eat dead plants and animals, breaking them into small bits of nutrients that go right back into the soil for plant use. As you can see, an ecosystem is a delicate balance between many organisms and the environment that surrounds it. Changes or threats to one ecosystem will not only affect that ecosystem, but it can also affect the many ecosystems nearby. Most of the major threats to ecosystems are caused in one way or another by humans, and include pollution, like dumping trash and toxic chemicals, can cause ecosystem organisms to die. Loss of habitat, like the cutting down of forests, takes away the ecosystem's home. Climate change, like changes in temperature or rainfall, can affect ecosystems that have adapted to a specific environment. Okay, let's take a second to review the important information that we've learned. In this lesson, we looked at ecosystems, which are specific areas that can be either in water, aquatic, or on land, terrestrial. We also learned that an ecosystem is made up of living organisms and non-living things that depend on each other for survival. We also learned about food chains, which include producers, as in the green plants that produce their own food with sunlight and rain, the primary consumers, which eat the producers, the secondary consumers, which eat the primary consumers, and decomposers, which are nature's recyclers. Changes, whether small or large, to one ecosystem can also have a negative effect to the many ecosystems surrounding it. So it's important that we keep all of this information in mind when thinking and talking about the natural environments around us.